My father, Olav Hasholem, was in Europe right after the war. He worked for an organization that helped smuggle Jews out of Russia, out of communist countries. His job was to make false passports and false visas and false birth certificates to get people out of communist countries. And he saved a lot of people. It was a big an organization. They had an office in Paris, they had an office in America. His office was in Prague. After doing this for 2 years, he had given papers, false papers, to a couple of Bachurim from Hungary. And when they stopped these two guys at the border, they started asking them questions, and they were frightened, they got scared, and they admitted that these were false papers. So they asked him, who gave you these papers? And he told. So they came and arrested my father, and he was in jail for 6 months. While he was in jail, he made a hachlata that if he gets out, he will say the day of Tehillim, the day of the week. You know, Tehillim is divided into weekly portion, and we do it on a monthly, right? So he made a hachlata that he would do the yom of the Tehillim, not of the month, but of the day. In other words, each day he would say 1/7 of the Tehillim. And that's what he did for many, many years. He worked in the yeshiva, and one day he got a phone call that the yeshiva building was on fire. This was on Bedford Avenue. It was a winter day, so he got up and he ran to see what's going on with the building. So he had to deal with the police, with the fire people. It took all day to straighten out what was going on, and by the time he was finished, it was about an hour before Shkia. So he ran home, davened Shachris, davened Mincha, and then went to sleep. We were living then on Bedford Avenue, and my father wrote into the Rebbe whether we should move to Crown Heights. There was a house, and he was waiting for an answer. But that day, when he woke up early to run to the fire, there wasn't time to say the Tehillim. So for the first time since he got out of jail, he didn't say the Tehillim of that day. He called, when he woke up later that night, he called the office to ask if there was an answer. And there was. The Rebbe answered, it's a good idea to buy a house in Crown Heights. This was when Crown Heights was still a very rich neighborhood. It's a good idea to buy a house in Crown Heights, and the house that you're looking at, make sure that everything is in good condition, and you should buy the house. And then at the bottom of the note, the Rebbe wrote, Tehillim, ? How did the Rebbe know that he had missed Tehillim that day? Because the Rebbe sees what's going on in heaven, and he saw that in heaven there was a hole. There was a blank spot where the Tehillim was supposed to be. In other words, it was missing. That's like the Eibishter expects you to write him a letter and you didn't write him. Every day you wrote him a letter and today you didn't. So there's a hole in the Eibishter's heart, because that place was supposed to be filled with Tehillim, and the Tehillim isn't there.
Gut Voch mit Brache Hatzlache Yeshuois, Refuois und Nachas und Chen